Welcome everyone to Essential Erin Intuitive's Halloween treat. I'm going to use a novelty deck based on one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Supernatural. I realize not everyone is familiar with it, so I'll do my best to give a quick bio on the featured characters as I go. I hope you all enjoy it, and now it's time to carry on my wayward viewers. And welcome, Aquarius, and hope you enjoy this Halloween show. We really enjoyed shooting it, so I hope you enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Hierophant, Billy, the Hanged Man, Castiel, the Two of Goblets with Bobby and Rufus. We have the Page of Bones with Miss Claire Novak, the Queen of Pentagrams with the Fallen Angel Anile, and then we have the King of Pentagrams, Crowley, aka Fergus McCloud. So let's start with the Hierophant. So with the Hierophant and Miss Billy, Billy began, our introduction to Billy was as a Reaper working for Death, and then thanks to Dean Winchester, she became the new Death, because of course he took the old Death out. So Billy, she really does, like the Hierophant, represent respect of values and tradition, rules and order. So as the new Death, and even when she was a Reaper, she really took her role as a keeper of the natural order of things very seriously. And I think, of course, more so when she became Death. And she reminds us, and the Hierophant reminds us, to show respect for established institutions, and it will bring you much more success and happiness in the long run. Now, of course, we know, especially because Dean was the reason she became Death, because the original Death just trusted him a little bit too much. And he is a hunter after all. But Dean kind of flaunts that disrespect of the establishment right in Billy's face. So we all know that's never a good thing for him or her. They really are like oil and water. They don't mix at all. She does not like him. He does not like her. And it's probably not a good idea to have Death on your bad side, or be on the bad side of Death. How about that? So just reminding you, be mindful of what other people cherish and respect, as well as your own. So it's okay to be very steadfast and I believe this. This is how I carry myself. This is how I live my life. But you cannot at the same time disrespect other people for what their traditions and how they choose to live. I mean, unless you know it's something really heinous. But for the most part, be respectful, Aquarius, of other people, especially if you want them to be respectful of you. And then we have the Hanged Man, our Castiel. And Castiel, when we initially met him, he was a very rigid, detached, and loyal soldier of heaven. He felt like he knew what his purpose was, he knew what the goal was, he knew why he was doing what he was doing. But during his time on Earth, and especially during his time with the boys, with the Winchester brothers, that was a huge wake-up call to him. And he began to go on his own journey, realizing, wow, maybe my goal isn't really what it should be. Maybe I am not doing the right thing. Maybe I'm not doing what's best for the greater good. Big epiphany for Castiel. And when that happened, it changed him forever, and it transformed him into the much more open Castiel and the cast that we came to know and love. At that point, he did become part of Team Winchester, and we loved him for it. So what that's reminding us of is that change can be very difficult, especially if you are really, really dedicated to your beliefs and your ideals and your goal, what you really feel your purpose in life is. If you have to change that, if you are really convinced, wow, I was probably wrong initially, all those things I've already done, I'm very, wow, I'm really sorry I did those because it really wasn't necessary. That is what you're remembering. That is why you have to be open to new ideas. and be willing to listen. Like we said, be respectful of other people's beliefs and how they do things, because it may develop a different idea for you, Aquarius. So be open to those changes within yourself and your destiny, and also kind of incorporate what you learn as you go. All the people that you come across, there are going to be some people that definitely think very differently than you. You have no idea, you cannot grasp their concept, but it's there. It's there for you. Then we have the Two of Cups. So sorry, you guys, used to the old deck. The Two of Goblets. And the Two of Goblets is Bobby and Rufus. And their differences aside, they have been longtime partners, friends, and allies in the war against the supernatural monsters and the things that go bump in the night. So this is the close bond represented by the Two of Goblets. A harmonious and mutually beneficial friendship, partnership, relationship, where you really, that person is your ride or die. That's like your best friend. It's somebody you really can count on at work. People, like you work together to raise each other up. I heard about a promotion. We're both going to go for it, or it's something I know you would love, and I think you should go for it. I would vouch for you. That kind of thing. This is someone who you really vibe with, someone who really has your back. That's what the Two of Goblets is for you this week, Aquarius. Somebody is really there to have your back. With the Page of Bones, Claire Novak, she's very enthusiastic, and she's very rebellious in nature, and she just really cannot wait to get into the hunter's lifestyle, to get into the hunt, to become a master hunter. But you have to remember, with that wonderful optimistic approach to the challenge of the hunter's life, the dangers, the things that you will have to really endure to achieve this, you've got to remember to be cautious about the things that could happen, the things that could stop that right in its tracks. So even though you are gung-ho and you can't wait to get started on this, Aquarius, remember to look before you leave. This week, something is going to get you going, get your juices flowing. You're going to want to come at it quickly. Stop and think about it. Be cautious. Definitely think about the outcome, what could happen with that. And then we have the Queen of Pentagrams. So the Queen of Pentagrams, like the entrepreneurial fallen angel Anile, she's very business savvy and an opportunist who appreciates the finer things in life. So she is always looking for a way to make things better for her, per se. So she's always on the lookout for the next good thing, or how can I turn this to my benefit. So what Anile and the Queen of Pentagrams are reminding you of is to embrace your realist and create abundance in your own life. So be realistic about your goals, be realistic about who you are and what you really want. Doesn't mean you have to be greedy or mean or not care about your fellow man, but it does mean you should be looking out for number one. You should be looking out for yourself and kind of looking, how can I create abundance in my own life? So that's what the Queen of Pentagrams is reminding you of. And then we wrap things up for you, Aquarius, with the King of Pentagrams. Lovely Crowley, aka Fergus McCloud. And he is a very slick, almost like a car salesman, right? And he is a power-hungry demon who's always looking to strike a good deal, especially something that is really giving him the upper hand, something that he is really finding too good to pass up. He wants to get that, strike a great bargain. And so the King of Hell, Mr. Crowley, is very smart and he's very business savvy, and he builds an abundant empire for himself by setting himself up for future success. So if there's anything that Fergus and the King of Pentagrams is reminding us of, is that we do need to set ourselves up for future success. Imagine if you put the kind of energy that you do for when a friend or a lover wants to do something into yourself. Imagine what you could accomplish, Aquarius. So that is what I am seeing for you this week. Happy Halloween!